Hey guys, welcome back to our channel. We are back with a new episode of the Challenge 40 Battle of the Eras. And we are coming back right where last episode picking up from where the last episode left off of. Okay, sorry. Picking up from where the last episode left off of, with Nehemiah and Tina winning the elimination. So that is everybody seems to be happy about it. So that wasn't a
well, not everybody is well, not necessarily. So everybody is back. So like, huh?
Go ahead, I'm listening.
I was about to say, everybody's back. So again, last week, Tina and Nehemiah made the nominations for targets, being Brad, Rachel, Bananas, Laurel, Corey, Janae, Josh, and Jenny. And Jenny is basically Banana says he hopes that he has made enough connections because he's friends with almost everybody in the house because he played with everybody, so he's looking for that to not be overshadowed by everyone hates for Laurel. And then also Jenny is also complaining how she's the bottom of the totem pole and how everybody doesn't have connections like her, or everybody has connections.
Well, she doesn't have connections like everybody else. Yeah.
And she feels like that she shouldn't have been nominated, especially since she's kind of been holding her own weight.
And she said they've discussed about people volunteering, and the only person that hasn't went is Michelle. So she's like, Michelle.
Casey did go technically, but
did Casey volunteer?
She was the first.
She was the first one.
Oh, well, I forgot.
Technically.
Right. Technically, she was the first one. I mean, I wouldn't count it, but in the grand scheme of things, technically, she did.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And then Olivia has the nerves to basically just kind of shoehorn Jenny's feelings. It was like, girl, that's not our problem. Like, you need to come into this game making, or you need to have these conversations outside of the game to come into the game with these alliances. And she's talking about how Michelle is her best friend. And I'm like, Olivia, you were saying the same thing last season with Nerys. So
I haven't trusted Olivia since she did my boy Giovanni wrong on Love Island. So the hatred for her goes back.
I mean, I get it, what she's saying. Like, if they're everybody's friends and you don't know none of them for real, are they?
How's she gonna know them? She live across the pond.
I mean, I understand, and that is unfortunate. That is unfortunate that you don't know them. But if they are friends and they do have these alliances, even though they be acting like they don't, they're not going to put in their alliance members no matter how many times they have to sing you in. So, I mean, it's nothing that can be done really in regards to that. It's just she got to like talk to people in house and like make connections so that they don't put her in. Otherwise, that's a guilt-free vote to put somebody in.
But they're not trying to get to know her either.
You say it one more time?
They're not trying to get to know Jenny. They already got the alliance, and that's all they care about. And we see that clearly.
It has to be on her to make the connections because they don't.
But how when you don't want to connect with me? I'm not about to go up to you, and you're not coming up to me.
Yeah.
But you are the one that's getting sent in. So yeah, you do have to try to go up to people. You are the one that's getting sent in.
But why be phony? Like, if I'm trying to make connections and it's clear that nobody want to make. It's the same thing with Corey. If it's clear that nobody want to work,
it's gonna come off real.
I don't think it's clear that nobody want to work with her. I think it's just that they have other people to work with. So if you are sitting on the island by yourself and everybody else,
it's still pointless to try to go to people though. Especially
pointless to try to go to people. Especially when you're not on that island because of animosity. It's no hate towards her. So they just not making the effort to go up to her. I don't think they would be against it if she tried to make those connections.
I don't think they'll be against it, but it just doesn't come off as genuine because it'd be something where it's kind of like a forced type situation. Like you're trying to force that connection. Just given the situation.
She got to force herself so she can stay in this house.
Yeah, but you want that type of shit to happen naturally so that when you're back against the wall, you got motherfuckers that are there for you. But I mean, you forcing yourself out there last minute. I
don't think it's last minute. They're there for a whole game. She got time to naturally get to know.
But I'm saying to that point, to where she is in the game now.
Yeah.
Then you want to make connections. It's kind of like had you started day one, we be in a different it'd be a different situation. But because you didn't start day one, now you're back against the wall. Now you got to go try to force relationships. That's like, it's kind of like, what's the point of it? It's not gonna work.
I guess. So we do get further in, and we see Josh and Tori have a conversation where basically they are talking about the alliance within the alliance, how they have to hold the Vacation Alliance strong, and how he's tight with Bananas and Laurel, and basically how he's loyal to everybody. He has to pay Bananas back and all this. Josh, I think Josh is the worst player to ever play this game.
Ooh, I don't disagree.
I think Josh is the worst.
I don't disagree at all. Game. He's by far and large one of the worst players
I think
ever. And we've had some one and dones that were bad.
As someone who literally gets no camera time, i.e. KC, is complaining about how you play the game, it's a problem if she even talking. So it's like, yeah, bro, you gotta go. But then also Corey basically thinks that he's being targeted because he's tied to Janae, and how Janae is kind of holding him down, and basically how her not nominating herself backfired in which she still got chosen. So it's kind of just, I don't know what he expected. Like, sir,
I don't think Janae is pulling him down. I think
it's not a partner thing.
Yeah, I don't think him being on the chopping block with Janae doesn't help or hurt him. It don't help or hurt him. So she was not holding you back. If you get chosen, it's just because it doesn't have anything to do with her.
Yeah,
they have to pick both of y'all. You are not helping her either. Her sitting next to you don't help her game either. So neither one. Frankly, they both are equally yoked as far as connections in this house.
Yeah, and she alludes to that later on, but and then also we see Johnny and Jenny West having a conversation where Johnny basically says that Michelle and Devin are starting their relationship, and he doesn't necessarily think that Devin is really into Michelle, that he's only using her to get back at him and to play the game.
Absolutely.
I disagree. I think they have genuine feelings.
Nobody's
for each other,
willingly attracted to Michelle.
Even if that was the case, so if me and Michelle got an understanding and we don't like you and we're not working with you, it doesn't matter. Y'all friends outside the game, but what's going on inside the game doesn't dictate.
Well, no. If that is what he's doing, I understand telling your friend. I would tell my friend, like, yeah. So if that was the case, then I agree. No, I'm not gonna say. You said if that was the case, so what? No, I would tell my friend if I thought.
No, but I'm not saying so what. As in now, Devin's using her. That's one thing. But if you can see, which we do, I'm speaking in the terms that we clearly see that they like each other. So him and Michelle working together to benefit Devin's game, or vice versa. Michelle being tied to Devin also benefits her game because that's what I'm saying. Like, it's beneficial to both of them. So it's not just Devin trying to get Bananas out. And then again, Bananas, like she said later on, you sat at this throne for 7 years. You sat at this throne 7 times. It's time to go. Like, yeah. So I just don't think that. Yeah,
it's funny how people are. It's funny how people been sick of Johnny winning all these years, but like when people have had opportunities to stop him from winning, they've never taken those opportunities from him at all. It's like y'all waited till he got like 4. You waited till he won that 4th one, and y'all was like, oh, now he's an issue.
Yeah.
Where was it when he won 3 in a row and y'all didn't do nothing then?
I mean, well, the majority of people in this house, his winning streak didn't happen with majority of them. Like era 4, he barely won during their. Oh my gosh! Cut this part out. My brother is back.
Yeah, he. You're right. He didn't win with. He won a lot with era 2 and 3, and he had a lot of people from era 1 to help him.
Yeah,
get those wins.
Yeah, this later half, He was not on a winning streak.
Realistically, it's really just Derek. To be honest, it's really just Derek. Every challenge he won, the first 3, the winning streak, he had Derek. When Derek, Kenny, and Johnny, when Derek, Evan, and Kenny weren't there, he had to rely on everybody else, his other friends. So I say the other ones, that kind of impressive because you only have your goon squad with you. So that's impressive to me.
So we get to the daily challenge. It's called Cloud Catcher. So there are helium-filled balloons that are connected to color-coordinated poles. 3 players from each team will race across the field through an obstacle and start grabbing their balloons. One at a time, they'll race back and go through a giant pergola. Once they collected all their balloons, they will reveal a giant riddle they must solve. The team that finished the riddles with the most amount of balloons attached to their station in the least amount of time will win the challenge. And then the targets on the losing team will go straight into elimination. And I really feel like this season they are grasping for straws with daily challenges. Because what was this?
Yeah,
I don't think this was practical to do. Like, I don't know who said it, but like somebody said, if it's on the ground, I think it was Devin. If it's on the ground, it's popping. If it's in the air, it's popping. If it goes through the thing, it's popping. If it hooks on you, it's popping. Like, this was not.
Yeah, it wasn't thought out. Like you said, man. I think what they need to do is just go back to the old school practical days of challenges. I feel like because they stepped up so much in production value that they gotta kind of do everything has to look like a damn movie stunt. Yeah. It has to be this unrealistic ass game for some reason.
Yeah, it would seem like at least this season they try not to do every challenge on the top of a wheeler. You know,
yeah,
they
do so many challenges on those damn cars already.
Yeah, on all the season 30 through 40 was basically all
semis, or they find the tallest building in whatever country that they in, and they do like 3-4 challenges up there.
Yeah, so maybe they kind of changed it up because they was doing that so much.
I agree with you.
No explosions, no semi trucks.
I mean, they spent all their budget,
especially the explosions. Like, this is not a Michael Bay film.
They was doing them explosions 38.
Like, you'd have thought we was watching a Transformers movie with all the explosions back then, man. It's crazy.
That was a Spies Lies era, you know.
Honestly, they need to just adopt like if they look at like take like some of those Survivor games and throw a challenge spin on it. Take some of those Big Brother games, throw a little spin on it. It so like it has to be.
Get them jumping out of helicopters again into a small 3 diameter circle.
Yeah, but they don't have to do that. The Survivor games will work well. Like the whole ring above and whoever dropped first and the buck, like just simple things.
What they could do is what they kind of did during Road Rules Extreme is just take the concept of those challenges and just make that the actual dailies. Because those challenges were like kind of difficult. Like they had to climb up a waterfall. That's difficult. That's not easy. It's not over the top, but it's.
But they got to find a waterfall. It's based off the environment, right?
Yeah, because I mean, it depends on what country you go to.
Yeah,
in certain countries you're not gonna have that, but at least it gives you something to work with.
Yeah, and frankly, it's season 40. They could literally go through the challenges of the seasons and just recycle.
They really could. Except even the island had good challenges. They could have did something from there.
Yeah, so they literally could have recycled it for this season. That's about all the seasons. Yeah, but this challenge, I wasn't really messing with it for real.
So we do see right off the gate, Derek does do a bad landing. It ends up breaking his leg. We never get confirmation.
Well, we didn't get an update on what happened. And they did not stop the challenge. I thought they were gonna be like, stop, medic.
Yeah, they had a medic there. It was one scene they had a medic, but Derek was like, he like ran off, and they was like, no, but we never got an update. No hospital, no.
I guess
he's probably gonna play into next episode. Maybe
they're gonna wait to next episode. Be like, Derek has to be medically DQ'd or whatever.
Yeah. Outside of that, I mean, nothing really else happens. Era 2 and 3 were kind of like the main ones,
Mhm.
but in the end, Era 4 comes out. Basically meaning Josh and Jenny will control the chamber, and the losers are Era 1. So Brad and Rachel will be going into the arena.
I hate this
And
Era 1, this constant losing streak. It's just terrible.
yeah, and I feel like once again they need to have some type of parameter. Once you get down to a certain amount of people,
Yeah, I was like, they just gonna keep like, when do we reset? What's happening?
Yeah,
Like,
that
they need
is
to pull
kind
in
of
some
fucked up
alternates.
too.
They
Yeah.
they gonna have to do something, because like usually if it wasn't in the eras, because it is the era season, you know, I don't understand how it's gonna be, because if it was like a regular team season, then they would reshuffle the teams. But now, because they cannot reshuffle the teams because it's based off eras, I guess they're gonna bring in alternates, which also would make me upset as the person that's been playing. And if an alternate won, I'd be like, oh, not you winning.
That would suck.
I would hate that too, because I would have to contest the win.
Yeah, because we've seen as of late in recent patterns, we know that in the elimination, at least one Era 1 player is going home. So next elimination will be down to what, 4 on
It's
Era
only 4 of
1?
them. Yeah, it's
So
only
it's like,
two women.
yeah.
Yeah.
But
I'm very interested to see if they lose any. Like if Rachel and Brad would have. Oh well, we'll get there. But like, but if 2 more people go home, what's to be done? I don't want them to go home, but I want to see what would happen if they did go home.
yeah, because then do they start to do the the challenge favorite? Hey, you won the elimination. You can decide if you want to stay with your era or move to another one. At least that will keep the team together.
That's the
somewhat.
only way to salvage it.
Yeah.
But
like USA. What was that one? War of the Worlds, like War of the Worlds.
Yeah. The turncoats. But we get back to the house, and Josh makes this speech about how he wanted it to be everyone's game, or once again, they trying to make it a team decision.
I don't know why he did that.
Yeah,
because saw that meeting, I was like, you're not gonna go with their decision, because
literally everybody said there's no talking. We know what it is.
Yeah, I didn't know why he did that. I would have not have even, if I was him, because I already knew that it's between Johnny and Laurel and Corey and Johnny, and he seems to be more nervous and scared about Johnny's wrath than Corey's wrath. So I was like, he's not gonna pick Johnny. So I was like, I don't know why you even called this meeting. You should have just been like, I would have plead the fifth, like, I didn't even know y'all wanted me to pick. I wouldn't even have the meeting. Act stupid. I'm like, I thought y'all would want me to save Johnny. But no.
So basically, everybody says Johnny and Laurel is the obvious choice to make. And Josh and them go into the chamber, and Corey basically lays it out and was like, 3 and 4 clearly working together. 1 and 2 possibly working together. Johnny says, he cannot confirm nor deny who he's working with. And then Corey goes on to say, look here, you already know that Bananas and Laurel are beasts. So think about yourself and think about your game. And all Bananas had to do was say, you remember, you said you never was going to say my name. So this is the perfect time for you to pay me back. And Josh fashions, he caved.
Yeah, I knew that was going to happen. For a second, I was like, I don't know, but he has a partner that's working with him, Jenny, who is friends. And she said she don't have many alliances, and her only alliance is Johnny. Yeah, I'm not fighting for you to throw Johnny in for real. So,
but I think Jenny is not close enough with Johnny that she would have contested. She wouldn't pull the Avery.
But no, I don't think she would pull the Avery. But I'm saying there's nobody to fight to not put to put Johnny in. He's my only alliance. I'm not gonna. You don't want to put Johnny in, me neither. So we're not gonna put him in. But if somebody,
that's what ended up happening. But the whole team basically said, and I think when the whole team talked, she was in agreement with, yeah, I don't want to do it, but for the team,
that's the whole team. But them two in the real decision, she is not going to. She is not going.
Yeah, once Josh said that he don't want to put a banana, she was like, hey, better for me.
Yeah, like, I'm not gonna fight it. I don't want to put him in either. But if it was somebody who is, they could have had more of a discussion. If it was somebody like, I don't know, Cara, or then I don't say
Yeah.
like somebody who is the opposite of him. Then, but because he want to save Johnny, and she is friends with Johnny too, so it wasn't really no discussion to be had. I would have been surprised.
It was kind
if
of
they
like
did put
it
him
was a
in.
done deal regardless.
Yeah, I would have been very surprised if they put him in. And Laurel was lucky this episode, because if she was not with Johnny, she would have definitely been going in.
Absolutely.
Yeah, she would definitely been going in.
I think, to me, and this is maybe just me, I think Laurel might be one of the most overrated competitors ever.
She is overrated, but at the same time, it's more so.
I think she's so overrated.
It's the comeuppance of it all. Like Cara said, like no matter what she does to people, she always, and we talked about this last week, that Laurel, I don't know, it's like 50-50 with her. Like some people find her to be like, hey, she's cool with me, so I don't have a problem with her. But then again, Laura also had these like overly revenge, or not even revenge, these overly hyped rivalries, I guess.
She do. Like, she creates beef out of thin air.
I will say it's not always her though. Like it's not always some pushback. It's not just,
she makes herself a target a lot, and sometimes
she comes in as a target.
That's not her fault all the time, but I just know, just based off of her personality, based off of her accomplishments, like the way that she carries herself on this show, it don't, like, her record is not indicative of that shit.
Yeah, but that's why I think that's the issue, I think, or that's where the disconnect is, because again, people have said that Laurel is a good person, but it's when she's on this show that it doesn't always show that. Because even Ryan said before his little spiel or whatever it is, like you, like him and Laurel was besties, like, you know, I loved her, all that, and then I forget what happened, or she wanted him to choose sides and all that stuff. So, I mean, granted, I just don't think her depiction in this show is what's good. And plus,
it's never been good for her.
And what we don't see, so it could be her not really messing with people, or it could be her always starting with stuff, but we don't know because we only get half the truth.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. There was a lot of house time in this episode. Like a lot of the episode was them in the house and their drama that was happening.
Yeah.
I was so surprised how long they was talking and arguing about throwing people in. I was like, this is taking a long time.
It's definitely a filler episode for sure.
Yeah. So speaking of house time, we do see Josh basically announce to the whole team that he's disregarded their united vote, and he's voting for Corey and Janae, and everybody is like, and then that's when we get into like Michelle basically saying that yeah, don't be looking stupid when you eliminated sitting at home. Like, dang, I could have won this season when you had the chance to get rid of Bananas and Laura when they win, or you know, in the case they win, then you. And they also
said going forward, if we choose to do what's better for our game, not what's better for the team game, then y'all don't cry me a river, because we ain't playing based off team no more. You did that for your personal relationship, which is fine.
Yeah,
I mean, it's fine you do that, but when I do it next week to save my buddy, do not come crying to me about team, Josh.
Yeah, and that's what I appreciate about Corey this episode, and I think I always appreciated this about Corey. He no nonsense. When Josh came to him, and then we kind of see this in the club, so I'll just attach them together. Basically, Josh was like, yeah, I'm voting you. And Corey was like, say less. When I come for you, don't cry me a river. You made your chance. And he was basically asked Josh in the club, he was like, so my speech wasn't good. And Josh was like, no, you made valid points. And I'm like, man, like, it just don't make sense.
It doesn't.
He's scared of whatever Bananas, you know, because he went against him previously. But my thing is, if you got two people who you say are your friends, and one person you already did wrong, and Corey, who
never crossed you,
you never crossed
ever.
Stick with the person you haven't crossed and has never crossed you, because they don't have no excuse to ever cross you. Johnny, no matter, even if you cross him this time, he still could hark back on last time.
You saw what he did with Sarah. Like, Johnny is the prime example of this is why you don't play with. Like, I understand, Johnny is a cool person. I guess, he makes friends. I get all that. But when it comes to this game, I don't know why people want to work with Johnny Bananas when it's proven that he will lie to your face, get to the finale, and if he has to choose between the money and you, he will
picking
pick
the money every time.
Yeah.
And Johnny has constantly shown his ass in he made Evelyn work with him so he could win the island, to turn around 2 challenges later and vote his friend into an elimination.
Yeah.
Like he don't care about your feelings.
And then he gaslights, like he literally
he is a supreme gaslighter.
Yeah, like he literally, all he told Josh was, hey, if you want to make an amends, you know what you got to do. Like, sir, I don't have to appease to you.
That means nothing, because next time when he do vote you in, he can still bring up when you did do him wrong. This don't, like this canceled out this.
Yeah.
It ain't gonna cancel it out for him. He's still gonna be like, that one time you did me wrong.
It's just only right that I always the favor.
He's always gonna hold a grudge.
Yeah.
And then we know Josh can't win an elimination, so you really should
can't win nothing, bro.
Yeah.
Josh is horrible at this game.
I wish, we'll talk about it later, but I do wish that the person who wins the eliminations, they get to decide together who they vote, because I get the whole the voluntary thing, but I really wanted people to get their comeuppance this go around, but we'll get into that later. Anything else happen in the house?
Elimination.
Yeah. Like I said, at the one thing, they go to the club. Bananas tell Michelle basically that he doesn't hope Devin isn't using her for game purposes. Michelle goes back and tell that to Devin, and then Michelle expects Devin not to get mad. And then, like Devin said, if I care about you and I'm showing a reaction, or if I care about you and I'm not showing a reaction, that should cause a concern, not me actually trying to defend our relationship. Because granted, I don't have to, justify what we got going on when we have an understanding, but at the same time, I'm not about to let nobody walk around here and say that I'm using you for a game when it's clearly not the truth. So I don't know why people be expecting them to be like, oh, don't tell nobody I told you this, but yeah, Gigi said she voted you in. And then, Gigi, I heard you voted me in, or you voted me in.
Right. Like, what you
told
expect?
You that?
You expect me not to go back to the source?
Yeah. Like, of course I'm telling, like, yeah, I'm telling, like, yeah, so it's always crazy when people don't think that. And then Devin and Johnny have a conversation the next day, and then once again, Johnny tries to gaslight everybody into making it seem like he's the victim, and that all he said is, as a friend, I hope you looking out for yourself, essentially, and not that Devin's using you. And then I don't know why they show a confessional of Olivia saying that she heard verbatim, but she's not in the conversation. So
yeah, I was like, are you gonna tell her or tell the group as a whole?
Yeah.
But I mean, I guess she was like, if she's gonna let that fly, because they definitely never show her saying that out loud.
Yeah, and then I feel like Michelle was right there or listening in through a doorway or somewhere. So again, why you didn't interject yourself and be like, Johnny, that's not what you said. Like, this is what you told me. Again, I don't know why people just be sitting there and be like, oh, I'm just let these two argue when I know the truth, or I'm the person who relayed the message. So this is what you told me exactly for verbatim, or whatever the case may be. But
did they ever say whether the winner of this season is a man and a woman, or is it just one person?
I don't think they said.
I don't. They didn't say. Not that I've seen.
I honestly don't think they know.
I feel like it's gonna end up being a man and a woman. I feel like you got all these people here. I feel like having one winner is kind of lame. I feel like give both male and females opportunities to win, earn money. Because I feel like if you just only have one winner, it is. Because that final's gonna suck and it'd be unfair. Okay. Like multi-gender finals are horrible.
Yeah. But
I would like, because it's 40, for them to go back to how they used to do first, second, and third. Like they don't.
Or they should just, if they're gonna do this errors thing, either they're going to have a purge, get rid of another 8, 9 players, and then just have it be like how they did Battle of the Seasons, where the final 4 or whatever the case may be, each become a champion or whatever the case may be. Are they going to do it? Because if they're going to do the errors, you might as well wait to the final 2, whatever. But because Battle of the Season, it was for a 4-person team, so. Or whoever's there by the time of the final. So even if it's a 1-person, 2-person, 2, 3, or 4-person team, that they are just all champions at that point.
Yeah, like a team.
So, yeah.
That's what they end up doing.
So we get to the elimination. It's called to the point. Players will launch balls at a wall of spikes until the balls are gone. Whoever has the most spikes at the end wins the challenge. The loser goes home. Josh and Jenny, as we already know, says Corey and Janae. Brad and Corey goes first.
I know the whole challenge was what's the word? Anticlimactic. Very. I was like, when they won, I was like, is it over?
Yeah, because once you get in the lead, that's really it. Honestly.
It's over at that point.
And it took forever to blow the horn. Once it was finished, I was like, everybody's just standing around like, and they did not blow the horn for a while. So I was confused.
Yeah, I guess they edited in that they waiting to announce, I guess. But yeah, it was both of these eliminations was just kind of womp womp womp. So I mean, Corey wins 4-3. Rachel and Janae, it was pretty much over before it began. Rachel comes out 5-3, sending Janae home. Corey sends Brad home. The winners of the elimination, they're picking the targets. So they choose Darrell and Tina, Nehemiah and Aviv, Jordan and Naya, and Kylan and Michelle. That's the episode.
Michelle did kind of like Josh did and waited to volunteer till it was against people she didn't consider a threat, because Josh didn't go when CT was on the chopping block. And Michelle was only comfortable going now because Laurel is not on the chopping block and stuff like that. Yeah. So I mean, it's smart, but at the same time, it's like, okay, I don't know.
I still don't like that people are going with the volunteer system. I would have been like, screw it. That's why I wanted Corey and Rachel to at least have a car, because I would have threw Josh back in.
Yes, like, I was like, I thought Corey was gonna do it. Well,
because Corey can't choose a guy, which is why I said I can't. Which is why he couldn't do it. But yeah, so it's like now, like that's the thing with this game. You can't really get your revenge, because if you're not a target and they're not a target,
get the revenge on the person that posted up. Corey should have threw Casey in.
Yeah, that's what I would have did. Yeah, if I can't get you, I'm gonna get the person closer to you. So yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah, so that would have been like, take it. What's that thing from Bad Girls? If that wasn't for you, give it to the person who it was meant for.
Yeah. I know it's what you're talking about. I think it was old girl who they.
That was she beat her up. She was like,
but she stuck her ass in that chair too. Old girl just don't.
Exactly. So I'm like, if it wasn't for you, then you know who it was for.
Give it to who it was for.
So I wanted him to do that, but you know what? It's safe to do the person that volunteers. So I understand. I don't know when they pick and choose when they're going to show the special vote at the end. You know, like the point system or whatever they tallying up. They only do it every 5 episodes or something.
And we still don't even know what the vote is for. We don't know how long.
We're not going to know that
if they're not merging teams. Mm-hmm. If they're not merging teams, if they're not doing if it's not going to become an independent game, what is the point of it? Like, I don't understand.
It's going to be head start or something on the final.
And I would be mad if that's the case.
You got this many people gave you points, so you get 15-minute head start.
Because what if everybody voted for Horacio, gave him all the 5s, and he's gone now? So now they got to recount and then give it to the person in second place, third place, if they gone. And then last place, let's say Derek ended up, or let's say Ryan ended up being the winner of the final vote. Ryan, come on now.
But let's get into the
fantasy draft as it stands now.
I'm telling you, we have to come to a decision that Savon looks at spoilers. before the season starts because
No,
ain't no way.
spoilers at all. I didn't even pick first. That's the thing. Like,
No,
It
because
don't
you
matter
know
if you
gonna
pick first or
spoil it.
not.
did I pick first this time?
It doesn't.
this
I
time.
don't know.
Oh,
It
yeah,
doesn't matter
this
if
time
you
you
pick
got first
first.
pick.
No, yeah, no. I think this is the first time I've ever picked first.
It
Yeah,
doesn't
but
matter
I
if you
also
pick
did.
first or not. You still have all your players. Even last season, All Stars, you had all your players. Like, ain't no way you choosing all these people like just off of.
Y'all be. I tell
let me look at
y'all.
their
I have a
stats.
method. I have a method to my madness. Y'all be picking your favorites, and y'all be picking who, and y'all pick the same people every season. I want y'all
I
to
got to
understand.
pick some of
Y'all
people
realistically,
pick everything.
y'all pick the same teams every season. It's just y'all two swap players. Me, I get who literally is pretty much left. Like, I think I've had Derek on my team before. Usually I try not to pick Johnny because I know that Johnny gonna get sent home at some point. But I was like, this year, nah, fuck it. Let's roll with Johnny.
We'll see. But anyway, in first place right now, we have Team Say with 902 points. In second place is me with 764. And chugging along in third place is Gigi with 755. At least you're not blown out in the you actually have a fighting chance of, you're getting somewhere.
Right.
Because last season you was already down to like 2
Yeah,
points.
you was fried last season. It was
You
over
was at
you.
300 points while we in 1,000.
You was cooked. It was done for. You was legit done for.
Yeah. So
Well, that is our recap and review of this week's episode of the Challenge 40. Please like and subscribe. Leave us a comment down below. Let us know what you thought of the episode, and we will see you on our next video. Peace.